Okay, here we are back in the studio. I hope you enjoyed that little segment interlude. And we're here now talking to the team that is going to present our new recycling, I wanted to say environmental, recycling guidelines. And here on my left is June Franco, right? Am I right?
You're right.
Norma Hughes and Dan Ancona.
Right.
Welcome, all three of you. Now, are you part of the council? Is that?
Part of the General Services Committee.
Oh, okay. It's a subcommittee of the General Services
exactly.
Committee.
We call it the Environmental Subcommittee.
See that? I had the name environmental in my head.
That's right. You were right. We're going to do another segment in the end of September on the full program.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. But you're here specifically today. Who's your spokesman today?
Dan is our
Dan.
spokesman.
Okay.
Yeah. There have been some changes on recycling rules. I think probably you've seen in the press, the New York Times, there were a bunch of National Geographic did a story about recycling. And so what we want to do is, in the short time that we have left here, really is hit some of the changes that have occurred.
Okay.
And what the rules
And are these national or are they just related to Greenspring?
It's Fairfax County.
The county, okay.
But what we're
subject to
talking
the
about is
county
related
rules,
to
yeah.
Greenspring.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these are the things we run into here, yeah.
Exactly.
But just for background, just a very brief, let me give you
Go
a
ahead.
summary
Go
of
ahead.
what's happening in the overall picture of the waste that we use here at, we generate here at Greenspring. We're actually producing, we have a slide that shows some of these things. We're producing over 1,000 tons of recyclable stuff each year. It turns out to be about 3 pounds, a little over 3 pounds per person per day, per resident. Yeah, so it's a lot of waste. So anything we can do to cut back on that is a good thing. But we do recycle about 1/3 of that waste, and that's good. That's the good news. Although we need to get that number up higher, no question about it.
Okay.
So that's a little bit of background. But what's been changing is what you can recycle and what you can't recycle. And we're going to come back to it about plastic bags in particular, but I have another slide here that shows the different numbers that you see on the little triangle on the bottom of things that explains what you can recycle. For instance, the boxes that we get from the cafe and the other restaurants, these have a number 5 on the bottom of them. If you look carefully, and I've highlighted it on here, but that's one that can be recycled. Any 1 through 5 can be recycled. The new cups that we have out
In the coffee area,
stations,
yes.
those can be recycled. That's fine. Although the caps are 6s, and if you notice on the slide there, we cannot recycle 6s and 7s in Fairfax County. That's a local rule. That's the way it is. So the caps go into the trash. The cups go into the recycle.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Like the 5 on there. Now that's a kind of a paperish kind of thing.
This
box.
thing? Yeah.
Is there a 5 like under the plastic category that can be recycled, or is the numbers change when you're dealing with plastics?
Look at it yourself each time. This one has a 5 on it. This can be recycled. This is a 6 and cannot be. This is styrofoam stuff. Styrofoam is bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah.
I agree.
And by the way, these are 6s.
Really?
This
can't be
cannot be recycled.
Well, I've been putting those in my recycle bin.
So
I have been too.
I have also.
So what should we do with them?
Trash. Anything that you.
Why don't we tell the dining room not to use those?
Well.
Hello.
It's.
Maybe I shouldn't have
Can
said
I say
that.
my part now?
Yeah.
My thing has been styrofoam cups since the day I moved in here. And for 3 years, it's been my nemesis. All I can tell you is thank you for dining services for getting us out of the styrofoam cup era.
Okay.
Because they are horrible.
Yes.
And these are nice cups, and everybody should be happy.
Yeah, the cardboard cups are really nice.
They're 6s or 7s, really bad.
People think I've been to Starbucks when they see me with them.
That's right. But the next thing we're tackling is
Straws.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Now, the paper, obviously, covering the straw is recyclable. But the straw itself is a plastic and is not recyclable. And I would urge fellow residents to please, if you do not, if a straw is absolutely needed by you, if you absolutely need a straw for your water or your soft drinks or whatever, please do not use it. Don't take a plastic straw if it's not necessary. And there has been information in the news in the last month or so about plastic straws, and many of the commercial establishments are not offering plastic straws any longer. They're moving to a paper straw, and we will be working with the dining services to eliminate the plastic straw and to go to the paper straw.
Didn't we used to?
We
years
used
ago,
to have paper
years
straws.
ago,
Grew
they
up
were
with them.
they were
Yeah.
paper straws.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we survived it.
And we did, didn't
Yep.
we?
So that's something that we're going to be working with dining services on.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, one of the big changes that we want to talk about, though, are plastic bags. We've been encouraging people for a long time to not recycle. These are not recyclable here at Greenspring.
Okay.
In other words, do not put these in your blue bucket.
All right.
And in fact, things like here's the package that comes with your newspaper on Sunday. Unwrap it. Thin film plastic bags should not go into the recycle bucket.
I see.
Take the wrapper off. The shiny paper, that's okay. You can recycle that, but not the wrapper. So what we've been encouraging people is take them and stick them in a bag, and when you go down to Giant, take them down to Giant, and you can still do that. Some people don't have a way to get down to Giant, and so we're working with housekeeping, with Rodney Hunter and housekeeping here. We're going to set up a way that you can return plastic bags to the desk, and the desk will take those and put them in a thing just like Giant.
Oh, that's terrific.
And they'll be recycled just like.
When will that go into effect?
Coming soon.
Yeah,
Soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
they've ordered the container and so forth, and so they'll actually be a way for doing that, just like we do with batteries. Yeah, we have a slide that shows the kinds of batteries that can be recycled. Basically, any battery that you want to get rid of, whether it's hearing aid batteries or flashlight batteries, whatever, bring them to the desk. They have a special container.
Oh, at the desk.
At the
I
desk.
thought they were in the craft room for like little ones.
Each community has, each front desk at the community has a bin
Okay.
that they'll take any kind of battery you've got,
Yeah.
even
Right.
big stuff, and then that gets recycled. In fact, they pull the metals out and things like
Of
that.
course.
Yeah, so it's
There's some uses to some of the
exactly in fact,
insides.
and
of
we
those.
actually make money with that one. Yeah, it's,
Ouch. Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, that's the big news. I think the sort of the bottom line message here is that any ways that you can cut down on the amount of waste that you do,
Absolutely.
do it.
Yeah.
Buying bulk, but things like when you buy juice at the grocery store, get the one in the cardboard container rather than the plastic container.
Okay.
Plastic is made out of oil, and that is a finite supply, and it's difficult to get in the first place, and it's difficult to get rid of in the second place. Yeah, so we should use as little plastic as possible.
So you haven't mentioned my water bottle that I had on the air, but I put down on the floor. So
Reusable is a
it
good
is
thing.
it is a reusable. But what about the cap? Is the cap recyclable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Caps on bottles are recyclable.
Okay.
Like the Coke bottles and things like
Or
that.
even
yeah.
the lids, like on a jar of jelly or
Yes.
the glass jar.
Those
okay.
metal.
The metal.
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
all that
those-
you can
those
put in
are
your blue thing.
blue bucket. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're the blue bucket brigade.
You might turn into the red bucket brigade.
Okay, so we have about a minute left.
Okay.
So what else do you
Yeah,
want to
actually, I
encourage
have-
us about?
On that list of numbered things, one thing people ask me a lot about is, what about egg crates? Things that,
Egg cartons.
when you get egg crates in a paper container,
Yeah.
those can be recycled.
Obviously,
The ones that are in styrofoam, however,
not.
I know, and
are
they're
a
the best
no-no.
eggs.
Yeah, they're
I
as bad as these
know,
cups are.
I know.
Don't do those into the recycle. And in fact, the thing is, don't buy them that way, and so we cut down on the volume of trash that way. It's so that's an example of the kind of savings you can do. Buying things in bulk, cereal, things like that at Whole Foods, that's a good way to do it. It cuts down on the waste. I don't know if you can think of anything else. That
Well, I buy bulk, like I have a small apartment, so if I buy a thing of paper towels, for instance, 12 rolls or something.
Yep.
I know.
And then,
Try to find a place for
well,
it.
no, what I do is throw a cloth over them, use them as
Oh.
an end table. So
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
just joking,
I
but
Sounds good.
a friend of mine and I talked about that one time.
Yeah,
Yeah, what we're
that's difficult.
what we're going to do is put up on the bulletin board out here what the rules are and what the new
Well,
what the changes
on my
are.
refrigerator, I have a thing that at some point Greenspring put out a little legend that said these things you can recycle,
Right.
and that's what I've been doing. Although that blue thing on the Sunday papers, I have been just putting in with the newspapers.
Yep.
Everybody
Yep.
has.
And some people put their newspapers in a plastic bag and then put them out.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
have
no-no.
I do both. I actually have done that. I've actually tied it up with string.
Yeah.
But using paper bags is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, paper bag would be better, or just
Now,
put
if I threw them out every day, I could just put them in the blue thing, right?
Yeah,
Right? Yes.
But I don't do that.
we say put them in naked.
And naked? Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's great. Listen, thank you very much. This has been very helpful, and
Good.
we'll look forward to all getting. Maybe you should do a cubby notice. Never mind the bulletin boards. A cubby notice
Well, we're trying to
reminding us of what we can do.
We're trying to cut back on paper too. So.
Yes.
Oh God, oh my Lord, that was the wrong thing to say. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having
Fran.
us.
Let me get